StarTale versus Redbloods, best of 7. And, I mean, we'll talk about the stats of these two teams and, you know, how these two teams have been doing so far in the league in just a few moments, because it's actually pretty interesting to look at, you know, the difference between these teams so far. So, we are going straight in game here to get game number 1 of this best of 7 on the way. How is everybody doing tonight? Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for tuning in. I know there's a bunch of StarCraft going on right now, but hopefully you guys will enjoy our games over here for, as we do have StarTale versus Redbloods, and after that we will have Vega Squadron versus Team Extreme Supremacy. So all very exciting, and it is all beginning right about now as we just wait to load on up into this first game. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in again, as we're still just loading up here, as you can see on the screen. Just set our scoreboard up and we should be all good to go. Let me just make sure I've got everything shut on my screen that we need shut. And it looks as though I do. So, without any further ado, I believe we can go ahead and introduce our players. So guys, thank you for tuning in. How are you all doing? Welcome to the stream. We're going to be starting off with our StarTale player here. He is going to be in the lower left-hand corner of the map. It's going to be our Red Zerg player from StarTale. It's Curious. Last week they clinched a victory 4-3 against Cascade to keep basically their playoff hopes alive. Currently sitting at a match score of 3 wins and 2 losses and a map score of +0. So, you know, it's not been the season StarTale we were expecting out of StarTale. There's been a couple of, you know, 3 wins which they've given up. They've forgotten to show up to a match or so, and that has definitely hurt them here. As we'll look at the difference, and I mean, when we look at the difference between them and Redbloods, in the upper left-hand corner we have Redbloods Ignite to start us off tonight. Redbloods finally last week got out of their ace match curse. They had 4 matches in a row which went to the ace match. They won every single one. The only team in the team league right now to remain undefeated is Redbloods with a +10 map score, 6-0 in matches. So, what is this game going to bring us? Well, it looks as though Ignite's just going to be throwing down a Nexus first, so this is actually straight away a very exciting opportunity to show off something new. Welcome guys to our graph to show you the difference between these two teams in the league so far. So, as you can see, basically the lighter colour is map score and the darker colour is match difference. So, basically you can see Redbloods, they've won every single match. They've only been going up and up. It's been very close because they've only just been increasing their map score by 1 each week. But you can compare it to StarTale quite nicely, where StarTale they won a match, they lost a match, they won a match, they lost a match, they didn't play a match, and then they won last week. And, you know, their map score's been up and down as well, so they've really been having a very tough time here. You know, the match they lost in week 2 was obviously very close because it didn't drop their map score very much. But in comparison between these two teams, there is definitely what would suggest to be an advantage from Redbloods. So we do have a cannon rush coming out here from Ignite. It did look as though he wanted to put down this Nexus first, but he's put down the Forge instead. And we've already got a single cannon on the way up here. Now, Curious has no idea about this at all, so Ignite is going to get away with this more or less. He's going to be able to add on a second cannon now as well. And, I mean, Curious still has absolutely no idea. Now, he has got a drone coming down here and 2 lings, and these are going to spot this, but the first cannon is already finished, and with the first cannon already finished, his hatchery is under attack immediately cancels. He's just going to move over to his 3rd base, and he might just take this hatchery here as well. So he's actually just going to take 3 hatcheries straight away here, nonetheless. Not much of a commitment by Ignite. It's going to be kind of hard for Curious, because he's not really going to be able to get anything out of his main without losing it to these 2 cannons. So, a slight investment from Ignite, but I guess at the same time, Curious can move forward here, and if he can get rid of this probe, he gets rid of high ground vision, he can slowly pick away at these cannons with the Queen. So, that may very well be what he tries to do here, although at the same time it looks like he doesn't want to be losing too many injects. Back at home, Ignite with his own Nexus on the way up. So guys, I don't know what I did. I think I forgot to start recording locally, which is a little bit of a mistake, but then I think I might have not have, so getting myself a little bit confused. Sorry about that. So yeah. Ignite has his Nexus on the way up. He's successfully denied the natural from his opponent, hasn't killed it off, just forced to cancel, and now he's going to lose these 2 cannons to this Queen and a Spinecrawl, which are moving forward. And Overlord under attack here. So these Queens have to be careful. They need to get rid of that probe to get rid of the high ground vision. That's exactly what they're doing, Curious, making sure to keep doing that here. As once the Spinecrawl finishes up, that's going to help out quite a lot. Moving straight into position. And it's just in reach of this cannon. This probe needs to be very careful. These two cannons in range right now, and Curious not paying attention. This probe is going to go down, but this pylon is going to provide some good high ground vision, and that's going to be one dead cannon here, and this spine crawler can relocate now and just pick off this pylon first, or maybe even that cannon on the low ground. Either way, it's going to get cleaned up here, and we can see Ignite actually cancels that. These 3 hatcheries have finished up here for Curious, and he's getting ready to just go into this game off of 3 bases. So hello Belnoir in the chat, hello MTS140, hello Cassidy SC2, how are you all doing? This is a cast of a replay. Nope, this is 100% live. These players are playing live right now. So, very, very exciting, because right now, somewhere in South Korea, we have Curious playing StarCraft 2 just for us. So, Curious moving in here, and starting to get his drones mining, as we have some debris starting to be picked off. We'll give Curious a nicer access into his opponent's main base. He is scouting right now. We'll give Curious nice access to his own third base. He's scouting around in the main base right now. Not really too much to see from Ignite, who has started at +1. I mean, he's got a very late warp gate here, really. So interested to see where Ignite does decide to go from here. Does he go for some kind of follow-up attack to this early cannon rush? What does he do? You know, on Deadwing, I'm actually a little bit... I don't know how to feel about this, because it almost feels as though Curious hasn't been set that far back. It's not going to be that hard to defend these 2 bases. You know, it would have been nice if he only had to defend this location here. But as it stands, he can pretty much defend here, and if he needs to pull back and kind of defend down here as well. So it's a little bit harder, but not substantially so, as we do see 6 extra gateways added on here by Ignite. And oh my god, he's just going to try and kill Curious very, very shortly now. See, 6 gateways on the way, +1 is about to finish as well. 20 lings already being made for Curious, which is going to be a good start to turn this around. His roach runner is on the way as well, and he's going to have a little bit of money for some roaches, but not loads. A little bit supply blocked right now. These overloads are finished, and he starts another one as well. He really needs to just make some roaches here straight away. These lings are going to move out. They're going to see the pylon. They're going to see the units here, so immediately Curious is going to realize something is up, and he's going to have to start getting into defensive mode. This debris has not been taken down, so he can't really afford to let the units get into this sort of position, because then he's only going to be able to come in from behind, as 6 stalkers do begin to warp in. 8 roaches on the way. The lings are just going to commit here. They get a nice surround on the first few stalkers. Zealot goes down as well, so 2 stalkers and a zealot down so far, but this warping of stalkers has been an absolute mass, and time warp coming down here. The first few roaches are out, and they are beginning to move forward. Queen moving backwards will try and trade against this mothership core. Some more roaches on the way. More Zerglings coming in here as well to help tank for these roaches. Zergling speed not too far away, and Curious needs to be a little bit careful. He needs to move back here, I believe, and wait for a couple more reinforcements. Now some more roaches have just popped out. He's going to turn around and start fighting. He does seem to be in a little bit of trouble, but here comes some more Zerglings, and these extra Zerglings are going to make a hell of a difference, especially once Zergling speed comes in, and it looks as though Ignite for now is being pushed back. This mothership core getting very low on hit points too, getting chased all the way backwards. More roaches, more lings on the way in production as Ignite begins to move forward here once again. He's going to go after the queens or the roaches. I'm not sure. It is actually the roaches he's targeting down. The zealots are going to tank these Zerglings for now. Drones being pulled as well. But once these zealots go down, there's not really that many stalkers at the moment, as another one of these dudes does fall. Again, there's no blink or anything in this. It's just +1 and 7 gateways of production to try and win this game. More roaches here are going to come in. The zealots, well, actually the stalkers are starting to fall in numbers as more Zerglings come out as well. And again, with that speed, they can get around this army very quickly. It's Curious. He's actually opening up a little bit of a supply advantage. As the zealots continue to fall, continuing to warp in here. These roaches maybe need to again just fall back, wait for a couple more reinforcements. Another queen pops out. Curious rebuilding anything he can right now to help hold on, bringing all of his queens forward. He does have some transfuses with this, and he is going to break the pylon, it would seem. These zealots are going to turn around and start fighting. And that's going to be key for, again, Curious to fall back, but he does get caught in a time warp here, so a little bit of a troublesome situation. One of the queens does go down, but more roaches continue to come out, and the zealots fall faster than ever right now. And we're still just stuck on these 6 stalkers. As another wave of zealots comes forward to try and tank, but it's just not going to be enough. Finally, the mothership core goes down, and you can see here, Ignite is just not going to have enough to push on through, and Curious looks as though he's going to be taking game number 1 of this best of 7. And Redbloods looking a little bit vulnerable here. Ignite, he was the player who brought off the miracle comeback against Cascade when they were 3-1 down. And, you know, right now he's looking in a lot of trouble. He's 50 supply down. He now tries to start the Twilight Council. But I mean, we're talking about Curious. He's up on 44 drones. You know, he starts up a lair now as well. He's actually moving across the map with the majority of his army, looking for a way to just end this right here, right now. And I mean, the first few Zerglings come in, the sentries are going to force field as best they can. One sentry does fall. There's just so many roaches coming in behind us as well, though. These units are force fielded in, but that means they can't retreat from the roaches. Ignite types out GG, and that will be game number 1 in favor of StarTale. Curious getting the job done. And taking the first game here to put StarTale at 1-0 advantage in this best of 7. Wow, so Curious on fire here to start off the day. Looked scary for him. It looked as though he might not quite go into our second game of this evening. We're going to be starting once again with our StarTale player in the upper right hand corner. In the blue, he is the Zerg. He is Curious. So, initially we did actually have StarTale in a lot of trouble because they were AFK. They didn't show up against SC2ITL. But it actually turns out it was me that messed up. So that match is actually going to be rescheduled for a catch-up week, basically, because basically it's ridiculous to give them a forfeit loss because I fucked up. So yeah, basically. So go Redblood from Skillarian in the chat as well. And come on, guys, let's see some support. Let's see some cheers for these teams. Let us know who you want to see coming to victory here today. We have a 10 pool, or 9 pool actually. I think it was an 8 or 9 pool here for Curious in the upper right hand corner. So we better get to it and introduce our player in the lower left. If you're cheering for Redbloods, let it be known. Hanfi is your guy to cheer for right now. The green Zerg player in the lower left hand corner. He's going to have some aggression coming towards him very, very shortly here in this CVZ, because this spawning pool is 75% of the way done, and Hanfi looks as though he is going to throw down the pool first, so not the end of the world for him just yet. Looking okay, looking as though he will be able to just about hold on. So that spawning pool comes down here, it's about 25% of the way done, but the first lings do begin for Curious on his side of the map from his own lava. So these lings are what we're going to be following across the map here very shortly, as Hanfi's getting his overlords across, looking to see whether he can get here in time to actually see these lings coming across. He should be able to see them because these lings should take this direction down here. And in fact, as this time goes by, I mean, it gets more and more obvious that the Overlord will spot these Zerglings coming out of the main base of his opponent. 10 lings in total for Curious, who also starts up a Queen right now, so he is going to stick to this one base for just a little while here. Going to hit a supply block now, but that's no issue as he actually puts down an extractor, so he's going to start taking some gas as a hatchery is on the way for Hanfi. Now he has seen these first Zerglings coming across the map, and he sees them again now with his second Overlord, so he knows what's up. He's actually still taking a gas here. Wow, has he not seen them at all? He must have, surely. He starts up 6 Zerglings, so yeah, he knows. He's not going to start spine crawl. He believes in his own micro here. Curious actually just going to go straight onto this hatchery of his opponent and going to try and force a cancel here. Make sure you can get that cancel and, you know, basically reset the hatchery cam. Drones being pulled, though, as well as Zerglings. And Curious is going to have to just turn around and fight this, I would imagine. And he does get a couple of shots off here. Before turning around and going onto this hatchery once again. So you can see Hanfi, he really wants to keep this hatchery alive, and he's going to play the dancing game with Curious here to try and do it, but it looks as though he won't be successful, and that means he's just lost a bunch of mining time for no real reason. This drone does actually just get away. Wow, on a single hit point, that drone just staying alive here. And Curious, I mean, what's his follow-up to this? He's getting up to that 100 gas mark, so he's got metabolic boost on the way here very shortly. He takes a 2-worker lead in this game as well, so things are actually looking alright for him right now. He's going to have Zerglin speed, he's going to have a couple of drones advantage, and he's got the opportunity to take a faster expansion than his opponent, so it looks as though this has worked out quite well here for Curious. And I have to wonder, you know, if Hanfi had maybe just kept his workers on mining, he might have had just that little bit more which he needed here to, you know, to maybe just be able to break out a little bit sooner, just to keep equal on the drone count. We see a Bane nest coming down right now, so Hanfi expecting some kind of link flood to follow this up, and he's going to prepare for that by just going straight into the Bane so he can play a defensive game while trying to move out in towards his natural expansion. And that's what he's going to try and do right now. He can't move too far in the map. He'll know this. He knows he's delaying his own Zerglin speed, so he knows he can't be aggressive, and I imagine he's just going to sit back here and wait and defend. Hatchery is on the way up on this side of the map for Curious, so hatcheries are going to be not too far apart from each other. Work accounts are actually dead even as well, and these Zerglings can't get too much done. They do turn around and try and just turn on the lings of Hanfi, but not quite too successful there either. So for now, not really too much to say. Go Redbloods coming in from Mig Delta. 3S Green as well, cheering for Redbloods. So a couple of Redblood supporters. Come on, guys. I know some of you must be here to watch StarTale as well. So if you are, let's hear some cheers for StarTale coming down here in the chat. We've got Curious moving across the map with a few more Zerglings. His Zergling speed's about a hit. couple of Banelings are now ready though for Hanfi, and this is exactly what he needs to be able to basically turn around these speedruns. This was his plan all along, and oh, curious, he gets 2 Lings in towards the main base, and he will be able to use them to scout, and he saw the Banelings, so he's not going to rush in there with the rest of his Zerglings just yet. He's going to just wait and play a little bit more defensively. So hatchery finishes up here for Curious, which means Hanfi's hatchery is going to finish up here very shortly as well. A single Zergling does get picked off in that main base. Curious opening up a 4-worker lead right now. Going to extend that as well for a couple more workers on the way. 2 Zerglings for 1 Baneling. Not a pretty decent trade for Curious, so not so bad. Now he does have a couple of Banelings of his own coming in, and he will be looking to try and use these right now, utilize these to move forward. And I mean, Hanfi sees them coming in, and look at that. Well, it's 1 Baneling for, well, not too much really right now. And that's been a pretty decent trade altogether for both players. Queen goes down. That's a nice little pick off there by Curious. And of course, it's quite important because it keeps his Overlord alive too. So Curious, with a cute little play there. Hanfi with a few more Zerglings right now, so he will move across the map and look for a counterattack possibility, maybe. But honestly, there's not really going to be much of an option here. 2 Banelings already morphing in for Curious. He's got a bunch of extra Zerglings on the way as well. He's gone straight in towards a lair here, adding on 2 gases as well. If we see that 4th gas come down, I'm almost sure this is going to be a Spire. Right now, I guess it could just be a Lady Evolution Chamber and Roadroaring. But Spire does seem to be the most obvious thing right now. A single Evo Chamber for Hanfi at the moment, as we do have some Zergling wars going to be happening in the middle of the map. Curious being very careful about where he runs up, but whoa, nearly running into that set of Banelings just there, but manages to keep himself just away from them. A couple more Banelings coming forward again. 2 Banelings or 2 Banelings here, and again, Curious doesn't really have enough to just carry on with the attack through here. So Hanfi just going to be able to push this small group of Zerglings back once again. He's got a few Zerglings looking as though they might try a bit of a counterattack. I'm not sure how successful exactly that would be, or if he even knows that they're there. Spire on the way down here now for Curious, so that's coming down here in the main base. If Hanfi can just spot that, that'd be a nice little scout for him. As whoa, nice Baneling hits that time around. So that's the first real big Baneling hit we've seen here in this game. A couple of Zerglings moving across the map from Hanfi. Baneling just blows up on them though. And, well, we actually have, whoa, there's Banelings and, there's all of a sudden Banelings in Curious's base, and oh, they're gonna get not so many drones as I thought they would. Only 5 workers in total this game. There's a bunch more Banelings coming across here. I didn't quite realise just how many Banelings there was coming across here, and they all begin to connect to the mineral line, and 1 more will connect as well, so a bunch of drones going down, only 4 more. A couple of Zerglings running in as well, another Baneling goes off there, that takes us up to 9 workers killed in total. And Curious holds on. That suddenly just seemed to come out of nowhere, as Hanfi is securing a 3rd base behind this. Rotron on the way for him. He's finally making use of this Evolution Chamber, investing in Carapace. 32 Lings on the way now. Curious looks as though he's been saving for Mutalisks, but he's only going to have enough gas to start up about 5 or so, as Curious is going to try and hit this 3rd base now. Hanfi is a little bit out of position here, and that may be the death of this 3rd base. Well, he's going to jump on this Queen first of all, and that does give Hanfi an opportunity to turn around if he wants to try and come defend this. These Lings do begin to attack. Banelings are morphing in. These Zerglings are counter-attacking though, and what is there for Curious right now? Well, there's a Baneling which gets 1 good shot off. Another Baneling coming forward here, and he only gets off on 1 single Zergling. Mutalisks are on the way, but how much damage can Hanfi do before then? Spineclaw is trying to help out. The drones are turning around to fight as well. This 3rd base does fall, so that's a pretty big pick off here for Curious. At the same time, most of these Zerglings are going down for Hanfi. He's killed off about 7 or 8 workers, going up to about 10 now. 18 workers killed in total. The Mutalisks are out. These Zerglings will be cleaned up. How many more workers go down? 22 in total. That leaves us with 30 drones to 40. Mutas are going to have to turn around to keep going after these Zerglings, and Curious is kind of struggling to deal with this. 12, 14, 15 workers behind. Wow, this is starting to escalate very, very quickly here. He needs to keep on drawing. His whole natural mineral line has been completely sacked. Trying to counterattack with some Zerglings of his own. He's going to get through in towards the main base. There's enough Zerglings here for Hanfi to just keep turning this around. And yeah, these Zerglings, they're just going to have to escape. These Mutas are going to come across the map now. They will look to try and do some damage, but there's a fair few Queens out with energy as well, and that will make a difference here. Some workers have gone down. Well, 32 workers killed. No workers killed for Hanfi. I think it's just because he's started up so many Spore Crawlers at the same time here. He's making a huge round of drones right now, and that's something Curious just isn't quite able to do. As it's really up to these Mutalisks basically to keep Curious in the game. A couple of Banelings coming in looking to defend any further Zergling run-bys, such as this one already on the way across the map. As these Zerglings come in right now, the Banelings are just about ready, and they just miss. And Hanfi is in the mineral lines once again. This Baneling cleans up. This group of Zerglings in the main base won't do too much either, so everything cleaned up here in the end. The Mutas will continue to look for a way to do some damage. Still 9 workers behind though. Curious will be trailing here in this game for some time though. He will be picking off a couple of overlords. Just gets the transfuse there though, and Hanfi keeps that alive, and this group of queens will be more than enough to fend off these Mutalists for now, especially backed up by some well-positioned spore crawlers here, there, and everywhere. Curious actually accidentally walks into one of them spore crawlers. Just pick off a couple of drones here, and this is pretty nice. You know, again, any single drone he can pick off is going to be great. And he is going to find a couple more, but he doesn't quite get enough to kill them off. And transfuses coming down on them drones as well. So Hanfi feeling quite confident right now. He's up to a ton of minerals and a ton of gas. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he just, once he gets out of this supply block, absolutely just masses up the roaches. And, you know, with a good number of roaches here, he could just probably march across the map and try and win the game. Curious does find a slight opening here, and he will move forward, picks off a few extra drones, bringing the worker gap only down to 11 now. Looking at resources lost, is very even, but again, it's been Hanfi who's been mining a lot more for a lot longer here in this game. Mutas turn around, they pick off another creep tumor right now. As up the left-hand side of the map, we do have a couple of Zerglings trying to just spot things out for Hanfi, seeing what his opponent's third base situation is. A Nidus network coming down, so this is going to be a Roach Queen Nidus build to try and break the third base and natural of his opponent. The Nidus really useful in terms of getting them queens across the map quickly. And of course, if it does goes off unscouted, I mean, once these mutas basically, you know, the problem with a roach attack is these mutas can do a lot of free damage to the roaches before they start moving across the map. So, you know, as they start moving across the map. So the real problem here is, you know, once a Nidus network comes down, the queens can get across the map very quickly, and they're going to be a great response to these mutalists. Roaches are already on the way out for Curious though, and there's that Nidus network coming up. I mean, it doesn't have to be that close, it just has to be close enough to get these queens in position soon enough so that they can get towards this third base, which is finally up here for Curious. He's finally evened out the worker count. And he's got his own roaches on the way here. We're currently sitting at 18, 20 roaches to just the first 10 of Curious. He hears the Nidus network, but he's not going to pull back just yet. Now he's going to see his roaches coming in, and this is going to be one dead third base and a bunch of workers probably lost as well here. This queen looking as though it's going to go down. Curious just pulls back for a little while. Now the mutas are coming in, and honestly these roaches are a little bit unprotected. The queens are slowly coming forward, but look how many queens there are. So many queens, there's so many transfuses available. It's going to be very difficult to be able to stop this. And they're just going to transfuse that Nidus network too. And you can see already that mutas are starting to just take a lot of damage very quickly. Third base falls here. And I'm not too sure what Curious is actually really supposed to do against this. He is continuing to get roaches out. He's currently sitting at 16 against 22, so he's not that far behind, but this number of transfuses here is going to be absolutely critical. Another transfuse used on this Nidus network. I mean, slowly but surely, Curious is working towards kind of getting rid of this. He gets rid of one Nidus network, another one still on the way. Roaches here at the front looking to try and defend for Curious. He's got 10 more roaches about to pop out, and every single roach is going to matter here. Plus one is finished for Hanfi as well right now, but it isn't for Curious. Hanfi with a ton of money in the bank. If he could just spend that, this game would be almost over, you know, right now. Drones are going to be pulled. Everything comes down to this attack right now. 10 seconds away from +1 from Curious. Transfuses are coming down left, right, and center. The mutas are going to come in and try and help defend here. But is it going to be enough? They're going to start picking off these queens, but I don't quite think it will be enough for Curious. Hanfi still has a ton of money, which he's just not spending. Now investing in some Hydralisks, more queens, more roaches as well. Curious is holding on just about right now, but it's so close. The queens are just high enough in number to take down the rest of these Mutalisks. The roaches will fall, however. So Hanfi, he loses a lot here, but now he's going to have a huge remax on Hydralisks, and this economy advantage he's had throughout this game is basically going to be, you know, he's going to exploit it right now. You know, he's got a huge economy advantage. He's had a huge economy advantage for a long time. He's got a third base, and that's something Curious just really can't go up against. So Redbloods, hashtag Redbloods on fire right now, because it seems as though they are going to get back into the series, level things up, and take this into game 3 with an equal scoreline. So, Curious, I mean, not all is over yet. He does have some roaches, but I mean, all of a sudden, let's actually just look at this army right here. It's Roach Hydra! And I mean, Hydras are just going to add so much DPS to this that I don't really know if Curious is going to be able to hold on. I mean, it's looked closer before because Panther was banking so much money. And whereas if he just spent that money, I mean, the game would have been over a long time ago. Another Nidus network comes in here to reinforce even faster. A wave of Mutalisks comes out for Curious, but I mean, they're going to be so great against the Hydras. Maybe if he had some additional baners to get in up and close and personal with these Hydras. Now, the Roaches do come in from behind, and that does actually help him start to pick off these Hydras. Mutas in the sky as well, going to be helping out here to try and hold on. And it looks as though he will take out all of the Hydras, which means that these Mutas have free reign in the skies. But here comes some queens from the Nidus network. And, I mean, it's just going to be a Zerg player overrunning the other Zerg. And it will be Hanfi, who is overrunning Curious right now, doubling the supply of his opponent. And everything is just continuing to fall here. I mean, WWGG is called, and Hanfi evens up this series for Team Redbloods. One game apiece now in this best of 7 all kill. And Redbloods looking good here to continue on in this best of 7 and keeping their hopes high. What a game, number 2. Between these two players, between these two teams, and I can only wait to see who's going to be coming out next from StarTale. Who are they going to send out next? I don't know. They've got Life on the bench. They've got Alive on the bench. I don't know. Maybe I reckon they'll play one more player before Life or Alive. But then I reckon they've got them two in backup ready to go. So guys, we'll be seeing who's going to come out next year in a few moments' time for StarTale after a quick commercial break. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to check us out on Twitter at SC2_improve to see when we go live with all of our matches. And also you can hit the follow button on Twitch TV to see when we're going live as well with all of the SC2 matches, content, and whatever else. If you haven't missed any matches as well, our YouTube is up in the upper right hand corner. All of the matches are up there, up to date, spoiler free and time tagged, so you can jump to game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 in every single game. Guys, we're going into a quick commercial break. When we're coming back, we're going to see who StarTale's next player is going to be. We're currently waiting for them to log on so we can get the map pick and lobby set up. So guys, don't go far. Game 2 of StarTale versus Redbloods is on the way right after this break. This next game. Sorry anyone who's watching the rebroadcast, I accidentally left the video running through the music, the recording running through the music, so apologies for that you just had to watch a song. Not ideal, but nothing I can do now. So guys, we're going to go into our next game here, game number 3 between Redbloods and StarTale. I would like to point out that Redbloods are a new partner of the SC2 Improved Team League, putting in a bunch of money to help increase the prize pool, so you can go check them out on Twitter and Facebook at Team Redbloods, on both Twitter and Facebook.com/Team Redbloods on Facebook. So do go do that because they're awesome and helping us out here a bunch, and hopefully Moobot will be throwing them links towards you throughout the evening as well. Of course, if you guys are looking for ways to support SC2 Improve, you can hit the follow button on the stream. You can also donate, or you can subscribe, all of which have benefits and stuff which Moobot will keep telling you about throughout the evening as well. So guys, for now, we're going to go into game number 3 as Life is the second player out for StarTale, and he's going to be starting down here in the lower right-hand corner for his team as the Blue Zerg player. So, in the upper left-hand corner, we do have our Green Zerg player taking down Curious in game number 2. It's Redbloods Hanfi. So again, while we have while we don't have any, mega speedy, Hobbit leaves the game. While we don't have any mega aggression going on right at the start of this game, I'd like to bring up this graph once again in the upper left-hand corner, as you can see. So again, I'd like to point out, StarTale have not really been on form, the form we've been expecting. Redbloods, they're currently at the top of the table here in Group B of the competition. They've won every single match they've played against. Only just they've had 4 ace matches. But when you look at it like this, you can see StarTale, they're really struggling in terms of matches. They won one, lost one, won one, lost one, missed a week, and then won one. So they're currently 3-2 in matches, and they actually have won as many maps as they have lost, which is not kind of the performance we were expecting to see from StarTale. It was an okay start for them. They won quite convincingly, then they lost only just, then they only just won, but then they just took a really hard beating, and that's put them into this kind of tough position we see right now. So yeah, kind of interesting to see StarTale and Redbloods, how the statistics match up. Very interested to see again exactly if Redbloods can keep on this streak, which they're on, this upward streak. No single team has been able to put them back just yet. So very excited to see how that will work out for them. We have a pool first here from Hanfi, whereas we've got Life going for a hatchery, followed by a gas and a pool. So this is actually quite an aggressive opening from Life as well. Quite easy, as I just need to quickly pause my stream, guys, sorry. So quite easy actually for Life basically to be aggressive from this, because he's going to have a very fast Zergling speed. Generally, I would say this is the kind of build order you go for hatch first into gas. If you want a Ling flood, you get 100 gas very quickly, you get Zergling speed very quickly, pull out of gas completely, and then you can just flood with Lings once your first 2 queens are out. and really try and catch your opponent off guard. And if Life's play in previous series in the SC2ITL so far this season is anything to go by, I would not be surprised at all if we saw something along those lines, because he has played very, very aggressively throughout the season so far. So, very excited to see how he will play out this game against Hanfi, because I don't actually think we've seen any real, I don't think we've really seen any ZVZ from Life. Maybe a game or two, but nothing which really stands out. We saw something against Demaga, I remember. He was quite aggressive there. I think it was just a one-base play, though. But I can't remember exactly. First 4 Lings on the way for him. That Zerglin speed starts up, and he has pulled out a gas, so looking good for the Link Flood so far. 2 Queens on the way as well for him right now, as he actually loses an Overlord, so that's a little bit of a mistake here from Life, losing an early Overlord, and a nice early pickup here from Hanfi to give him a little bit of an advantage at the start of this game. Go Redbloods from McDelta, hashtag Redbloods fighting from Azealis. How are you guys doing? ISO 98 Life versus Redbloods incoming. How, again, this is Redbloods, says ISO 98 as well. Come on, guys, let's keep these cheers going. Hashtag Redbloods on fire from Hobbit too. So good to see a lot of support here for Redbloods. I still don't believe we're seeing barely any support for Life and for StarTale. Come on, guys, where are the cheers? Where's the support? Let's hear it. As we have a bunch of Zerglings starting to be made from Life, so it looks as though he is just looking to mass these up, but look at the response here from Hanfi. He goes for the Balin Nest first again, so again, a very defensive opening from him, which will allow him to get some Balins up very quickly, in time even to deal with the first wave of Zerglings of his opponent. Life will spot this, he sees the Balin Nest right now. You'll see that Zerglin speed is also on the way for his opponent. Hanfi have enough money to morph in 4 Balins right now, and that's exactly what he needs as these Zerglings start to come across the map. But we don't see any Balins just yet. He needs to morph them in. There we go. 4 Balins on the way. Life is on the way across here. Zveed has just finished right now. So how well can he trade here against these Balins? What is he going to be able to pick off? It all comes down, very much so, to the start of this game right now. Immediately he comes in to try and get a surround on the Queen. He's going to go after a few Balins. First 2 Balins go off and they get decent hits. Nothing too amazing. Another couple of good hits there as well, and that should be enough, I believe, to clean up Life's Lings, and Life can't do anything else here. He still does have speed where his opponent does not, so he can re-engage, he can choose the fights here quite nice, and he will actually find a good engagement where he's picked off already quite a few Zerglings of his opponent, and Hanfi getting caught with his pants down a little bit there, a little bit off guard, and taking a little bit more damage than he really should be right now. Drones are being pulled away. Zerglings have just came out en masse, but a lot of them spawn in the main base. It means that Life can continue to trade very well here for a little while longer. Speed now comes in for Hanfi, so he can trade a little bit better. And Life, he's just going to back off. He's even on workers right now. He's going to take a little bit of a worker lead with a Spine Crawler coming up for himself as well. He has yet to go back into gas mining. And without more gas mining, he doesn't have any Balins, which is probably why he's investing in this Spine Crawler. He needs a wave of Zerglings to pop out right now to help him defend here, and it looks as though these Zerglings will be just in time. Hanfi has money to morph in a lot of Balins, so this counter-attack from Hanfi could be quite devastating. Life sees this. There's not many Lings here for Hanfi, and this could open an opportunity for Life to start cleaning this up, but he gets some of his Zerglings surrounded. He does have greater numbers here, and he will chase these Zerglings away. He leaves a couple of Zerglings on the Balins here. Whoa, the Balins start to pop out, though. And, well, a few Balins used to clean up these first few Zerglings of Life, as the Spine Crawler and Queen is gonna, and 2 Queens are gonna help an absolute ton against these Balins coming in, and well, they're gonna start making their way towards the mineral line. These drones, in fact, there's been no target fire on the Balins, so these Balins do connect on the drones right now. Still even on workers though, 25 against 25, and Life holds on to keep this game in the run and keeps this game dead even right now, as Hanfi is looking okay as well. I mean, both these guys are looking alright. Life's actually starting to drone up, however, so that's quite nice for him. He has gone back into gas now, still yet to see a Balin Nest being dropped for him. So we're still waiting for that, and for now he's just going to buy some time by running around with these Zerglings, starts up some more Zerglings in production. And he's just doing a bit of a loop here. A single Zerglin gets sent forward to go on a scouting mission, a little bit of reconnaissance here, but only makes it as far as the natural, and now he will back off with the rest of his units. Again, still, he has gas, but he has nothing to use it on just yet. He has on a evolution chamber, 4 Queens out for him right now, so he's been using that time where he hasn't been mining gas to basically invest in a lot of Queens to try and help him out here. 5 Balins on the way in, and it's going to be very tough for these Balins to do anything if Life does target fire this time around. The walls are plugged with Queens and evolution chambers, and it's going to be very hard for Hanfi to really be able to break through here. Life, again, he should be trying to target fire these Balins as best he can. Right now, these Zerglings try and break through, and Hanfi actually realizes that this may not be the best of decisions for him. Life starts up a lair. He's got 3 evolution chambers about to finish, so he can go into all the upgrades he wants. Cancels this one, and that's going to be a Roach Roamer now. So, Roach-Roaring on the way, a couple of Evos up, and Life looking as though he's just going to go straight in towards straight in towards this next stage of his game here. Bane's trying to move forward with these Zerglings. The Roach one under attack here, and it might go down. Life will plug the hole in his wall, though, just in time. And the Roach one will just be rebuilt. I mean, that was a cancel and a rebuild there, so Life really loses nothing. These Queens feeling adventurous enough to move out and actually start pushing these units back. And at the same time, Life is trying to break out of his natural on the other side. Hanfi has got a third base about halfway done, but if he isn't prepared for this attack out of the natural from Life, he may very well lose that. And Life probably able to take his own third base at the same time. So this is quite cute by Life. It's something which I don't think Hanfi is thinking about at all. So this debris on the way down. Only 200 health left on him. I'm quite excited to see how well this actually works out for him. Life misrallying, I would call it a misrally. With a few Zerglings here, a bunch of Queens here to back this up, and here come these Zerglings coming out. Are they actually going to move across the map? Yes, they are. And again, there's actually nothing over here at all for our Green Zerg player, for Hanfi. These Zerglings coming across now. Banelings and Zerglings are coming home, so you might just about get a bit lucky on this and be able to deflect this. +1 on the way for Hanfi. Only just +1 on the way for Life right now. Glavi Constitution is just about sorted up, as well as these Zerglings are actually going to morph in some Banelings as well. So Life is really going to go aggressive onto this third base, and is Hanfi going to be prepared? No roaches for him just yet. And that lack of roaches may very well just cost him this third base right now. 4 Balins finish morphing in. They're going to start moving forward right now, looking to get some damage done on this third base, even if it's just a few drone kills here. Oh, but look at this. The Balins are right for the big hit, and oh, he splits them, and he gets 3 for 5. And Life now opens an opportunity to come in here and be aggressive. A single Balin from Hanfi doesn't really connect as well as it needs to, and now Hanfi needs his roaches to come out. The Balins have drones have already been pulled away. They will now start taking some damage. A roach gets around. The Queen will fall as well. And these drones, well, they do get away for now. The Queen falls. Will the third base fall? I don't think it will. I think Life will just keep this alive. Oh, he's going to come back in here. He's going to maybe get the Bane hit on the drones. No, I'm not sure where Life's Bane went. Now he will be turned away by some roaches, but behind this, he's established his own third base. We're talking about 57 drones apiece right now. +1 is going to finish up for Life. Roach speed as well. And he's already got a bunch of roaches out here on the map. So the thing is looking all good to go here for Life still. Excuse me, guys, I'm still a little bit ill, but not as bad as yesterday, thankfully. So excuse me for the cough there. +2 starts up for Life immediately. His carapace on the way as well. Hanfi a little bit delayed on getting his +2. Can't quite afford it just yet. And that will be putting him a little bit behind, opening up some more timings for Life later in this game. Only 20 seconds or so. But StarCraft is a game where seconds do count. So that's going to be very, very important as the game goes on. These things, are they really trying to kill this thing? You monster! You absolute monster, Life! He kills it! He surrounds the poor calf and he just kills it just like that! Surrounded by Zerglings. The pack of Zerglings gone hunting. Hanfi moving across the map here looking for an attack. He's got 25 roaches against the 21 of Life, but Life will be in a defensive posture here. And you will see this coming with an Overlord as well. So, is Hanfi going to be able to hold on? He's got more, is Life going to be able to hold on? He's got more roaches coming in. He does have a counterattack coming in, but not too much of it will be that successful as the Banes get picked off quite easily. And, well, Hanfi does turn around, so it does buy Life some time, and that's what he needs. He needs time to get some more roaches out here. Hanfi actually just going to back off from this idea of attack and starts up 15 more drones. He's really going to be heading for the late game now. So, well. Hanfi sitting here on the natural now. Infestation pick going to start coming down for him. So looking to maybe tech in towards Hive here. And maybe add some Vipers into play. Get some Blinding Clouds coming down. Could actually just, or you know, of course not. Probably just go for some Infestors would be the, you know, the more standard way to go about things. Vipers, what the fuck am I on? So yeah, we're probably going to see some Infestors coming out here very shortly here for Hanfi. So he's being brave. He's taking out of just the pure roach play, which we've been seeing from both players up until now. As these roaches starting to move out just a little bit, some more creep begin to be spread, and well, Life going to kill off that creep tumor so that he can put his 4th base down. Going to take the forward 4th base, and he starts an infestation pit of his own here. So still expecting infestors at this point. I mean, possibility for swarm hosts maybe. Especially for Life, who's going to be holding a very forward position with his 4th base. So that possibility is there. As we're going to see these roaches for Hanfi start to move out on the map once again. He's going to take the similar 4th base to Life. As we're still yet to see these infestation pits being used for anything just yet. +2 has finished for Life. His carapace is going to be very far behind though. There's pathogen glands coming in for Hanfi. Ooh, Life has to be careful because he's walking into a concave of his opponent. But Hanfi's actually going to turn this around a little bit, but Life, he's just going to pick kind of half this army apart at a time. He is being surrounded a little bit, and this is definitely a better fight for Hanfi. Now Life starts stepping forward. He seems to have more numbers on either side of this battle, and he is definitely winning the battle on the southern side of this little block. And Hanfi retreating from this point. He does have more reinforcements coming in from the north, but again, for now, he just has to retreat. Life going to struggle to actually walk up that ramp, and he does have a lot of heavily damaged roaches, but a burrow here will get him out of trouble for just a little while. Overseer not here just yet for Hanfi. Oh, sorry, there's an Overseer right there. Okay, sorry. I'm blind. I thought that was Life's because it was kind of, you know, on Life's side of the fight, but no, Life will now burrow. He's going to heal up these roaches as fast as he can. Hanfi comes forward with a few root units, and he will try and pick up a couple of units for Life, and he will come forward and take this fight. He's about to have +2 carapace, so he will take an upgrade lead. Life, his reinforcements are on the way, and these reinforcements, they're going to loop around. They're actually just going to go straight for the 4th base here. No, okay, they're going to loop around and come in from behind, and Hanfi's going to find himself trapped from the bottom and left, so he's going to have to escape to the right, take some damage while doing so. And he's currently struggling to kind of hang on in there as Life is actually coming up, and he's actually going to get into a great position. Hanfi cannot escape out of this one. He's just going to have to take the fight right now. And is this a fight he really wants to be taking? I don't think it is. He has that +2 carapace in advantage, but it's not going to be enough for him. Life takes the game. He takes StarTale to a 2-1 advantage in this best of 7, and game number 3 ends up with StarTale retaking the lead in this clan war. So StarTale retaking the lead 2-1 right now is the scoreline for them, and Redbloods are currently trailing once again in this clan war. Life's a hard player to beat. What can we say about it? Good thing for Redbloods, it's their player pick, it's their map pick, so they can send out whoever they think is the best choice against Life right now. Maybe Little Cannon? I think he might be one of the better choices. Space Marine is there as well. I'd imagine though that these are the 2 players who Redbloods will play. So I'm not too sure who they will decide to play, but I'd imagine Little Cannon would be a pretty good choice actually. I think, you know, the mech play could definitely work out, but then again, some aggression, some early aggression from Space Marine could maybe catch Life a little bit off guard as well, so who knows what exactly StarCraft 2 action for you. I'm going to very quickly say we're very close to reaching our sub goal for October. We're 1 sub away, so I'm just saying, if anyone's thinking of subbing, you should. You know, I don't actually know what the benefit of reaching our sub goal is, but all the other channels seem to have sub goals, so I was like, let's have a sub goal. Maybe that's something I should actually think about for next for next month, right? Actually have a reward for reaching the sub goal to motivate you guys to actually sub. That would be good, wouldn't it? Maybe our sub goal can be, if we reach the sub goal, you can all have an extra raffle ticket. I have no fucking idea. Okay guys, so we're going into our 4th game of the evening. Hello Randall, how is it going, good sir? Glad to see you around. We are down here in the lower left hand corner with our teal Protoss player from Redbloods right now. It's Space Marine. Oop, pressed the wrong button. And I need to cough, so excuse me just one. Okay, sorry about that. No need to kill your guys' ears. So yes, we've got in the lower left hand corner of the map here Space Marine playing for Redbloods, and again in the lower right hand corner we have StarTale Life, the Red Zerg player currently playing here for his team. So what's going to happen here on Nimbus? We're going to find out here very shortly as Life, or Space Marine, so he's going to be Nexus first on 15 supply up on the high ground. And Hatchery coming down as a Hatchery first for Life as well. So very exciting start to this game. Both players looking for the macro game, and with the position of Life's Hatchery, it looks as though he may be going for 3 hatcheries before pool. Yeah, kind of cool, kind of interesting. You know, I like on this map, you get this hatchery down here first so you can get your creep spread out in front a little bit faster, so it becomes a little bit easier to defend. Gateway on the way for Space Marine straight after this Nexus. Free hatch before pool is actually a little bit better at defending kind of like 4-gate pressures and stuff, because you have free hatcheries, you have that extra production faster, so it's actually kind of nice. As yeah, we have this probe going into scout. He's going to see that the pool is very, very late here. And Life being very greedy himself, actually taking a gas as well before his pool, so he's going all in on greed right now. And Space Marine is just gonna move away here and escape with this probe for now as well. So yeah. Not really too much to say. I mean, what's going to be interesting is how Space Marine decides to respond to this opening from Life, this greedy opening. He's already left his probe up towards what's potentially a 4th base for Life in this game, where he can put down a proxy pylon to get very aggressive, either towards the 3rd if he puts it down on the right side, maybe up here even, or from the left hand side as well. If he just puts it up here, puts it down there, you know, anywhere really works. We do have a single Zealot already coming across the map to try and put on a little bit of early aggression here, and yeah. Nothing wrong with a little bit of early aggression to get things going. So Space Marine coming across the map, and we'll be looking to see what kind of damage he can get done here in this game in the next few moments. So, you know, we're not expecting him to see, you know, really do too much here. Life with good control should be able to keep his drones alive, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. He does turn to fight, and look at that, keeps one drone alive, and he gets the other one killed. But the Queen's about to pop out, and that should be enough to hold on alongside a couple of Zerglings here. And look at that, Life pulling away just in time again. Stalker on the way across the map as well to add to this aggression. Zergling speeders on the way, and look at this. 6 gateways on the way down. This is the response from Space Marine. He is saying, let's just 7 gate. Now, we have seen already once today, 1 7 gate. It came out of Ignite. It was after a cannon rush. He had +1 with it. This is going to be a much faster kind of 7 gate here. Although the single gas is going to be very Zealot focused. Can Life spot that this is coming? He's actually about to lose an Overlord, which is a little bit bad because he's already a little bit supply blocked. 3 Overlords on the way. He does have Zerglin Speed about to finish up. Is his greed going to be punished here? Drones are going to help by surrounding this Zealot, and he is not going to lose anything. So he gets rid of the Zealot. Nice little control there. But 24 lings on the way. Okay, so this is a good start here from Life. Zerglin Speed is about to finish up as well, and that will be a big factor in this. 3 Stalkers warped in. Space Marine is spending as much money as he can. He's a little bit supply blocked. 3 pylons on the way to help him out. He does see these extra Stalkers, so immediately here Life knows that this is aggression. Another Overlord on the way. He'll just continue to be making units here as often as he can. The Lings coming in. They're going to start fighting against these Stalkers, and this is going to be a good start for Life. Overrunning Space Marine before he really gets a chance to build up an army. And the first few Zealots warping in as well. Nice force field keeping the Stalkers just alive here. And Life will back off, and now he goes back in to get one more Zealot very quickly. 22 more Lings on the way though. And that's Sentry. I mean, it's all about the Zealots here. The Zealots are the most useful units. The Stalkers in the back going to get targeted down here. So Life doing a pretty good job of getting rid of these gas-heavy units and leaving only the Zealots. As more Zerglings are on the way out. Life, all he has to do is kind of hold on, and he should be more or less okay for the rest of the game. And, well, 3 Zealots did being added on in the warping tab right now. And Life just going to disengage, and then he comes back, engages again. He's going to be very good with these units. Just keeping his opponent back right now. He keeps in slight supply blocks here, but he always has another Overlord on the way, so it's nothing too major. Has to be careful, can't afford to fight with without, you know, everything at the same time, basically. This one Sentry does not quite have a force field ready just yet, but look at the position Space Marine gets into now. A really nice position to trade with these Zealots, where the surface area is very low. More Lings coming in, though, and they're going to come around the other side now as well, and Space Marine is completely surrounded. No reinforcements coming in, because guess what? Pylon's being killed, and Life cleans this up without much of an issue. But behind this, Space Marine has been probing up. He's 6 drones ahead, and honestly, it's not that bad of a position. I mean, we actually do have more Zealots warping in over here. I actually kind of feel if Space Marine just takes his gases, it's kind of a weird scenario, because Life can't do anything just with Speedlings, right? He doesn't have any further gas either, so it's not like Life can suddenly tech, get roaches, and just overrun his opponent. And, you know, the work count's actually in favour of Space Marine, though. One thing, and Life can't really afford to overdrone either in case of further attacks by Space Marine. So, it's kind of an interesting scenario. We see Life, we see both these players in right now as Space Marine continues to probe. He's taking his extra gases, and these Zerglings are going to just wait for these Zealots to come out a little bit too far. Queen has maybe moved a little bit too far here, but he's going to jump onto this army and go for it right now. A single force field comes in to help reduce the surface area on the Zealots here. Zealots are going to still trade very, very nicely. As you can see in resources lost, it's been very even trades up until now. And, you know, I mean, it's still not so bad. Still a slight worker lead for Space Marine. Now is the time where he should just start really teching out of this back at home. He's got a couple of sentries. He needs to throw down some form of tech. Robo Facility is going to be his choice. And, you know, maybe even just add on a Twilight Council too. Start going into Blink, add a Forge and Twilight Council. You can maybe go into a 3rd base here without too much of an issue. The only real issue is this kind of en masse of Lings. which is moving across the map right now. So these Zerglings going to run up here. With force fields, I mean, oh, that's actually kind of cute. He warps in a couple more zealots here. He blocks the first few lings from coming, some of these lings from escaping. How effective really was this, though? Another force field comes down to keep them from escaping again, but the zealots need to be careful with where they go, because they do keep getting into a position where they can get completely surrounded. I think that was a good amount of Zerglings traded, though, for only 4 zealots in the end, so that was okay there, and Space Marine does hold on now. Roach One's on the way up, Alair's on the way up too, and we do start to see some Immortals coming in, so it's going to be an Immortal Sentry follow-up here for Space Marine, as Life has his +1 on the way. And, well. Robobay on the way as well. Okay, so this isn't actually going to be an Immortal Sentry, it's just Immortals for safety, as he's probably going to try and take a 3rd base in the near future. Okay, interesting. Warp Prism on the way as well, so you can still get kind of aggressive with this. No Mothership Core though, so no opportunity to recall. There's the probe, he's just going to drop this 3rd base down. So you can be a little bit aggressive, he just has to make sure his force fields are on point. Of course, moving out like this does open Life to come in, counterattack and kill off this newly built 3rd base. And of course with the speed of these lings, they can get back across the map to help defend this little attack as well quite quickly. So, yeah, a little bit of a mistake there, I think, from Space Marine. I don't think he'll achieve all too much from moving across here. I think it's actually kind of risky as well, considering he has absolutely no way to back this up. I mean, he's got a Warp Prism on the way across, but it's not here just yet. As here we go, the lings coming in, and some force fields. They're trying to reduce surface area, they're trying to block these roaches out. But the Immortal's actually going to go down here already, and Space Marine loses this entire army. And I mean, again, just no real reason for him to move across like this. Now we do have some zealots coming in towards the main base, so he's going to try and do some damage with this Warp Prism, trying to assassinate the Queen. Doesn't quite get the block off on it. Some more zealots being warped in. Life very quick to respond though. I mean, with roaches already out, he's going to be able to get over here nice and quickly. 4 of these zealots will be able to be picked up in the Warp Prism to get away. That's going to be about it, as this Warp Prism picks up just a single one. Okay, he gets a couple more now, has to get out because he is dropping in hit points. These zealots finish trading up here. I mean, Life's just in a great position. I mean, if this 3rd base, if that army hadn't been killed off, I still would have felt that, probably, yeah, I still feel like if that army was not moved across the map and just being killed, like, boom, dead, I feel as though there was still probably chances here for Space Marine. But now, I mean, he lost a lot of sentries with that, he lost an Immortal with that, he lost a lot of his army, and now he's got a single Colossus to try and deal with this roach attack, which is coming over. And he's got a 3rd base to try and defend. And I mean, of course, this 3rd base isn't ready yet because it got delayed because he was moving across the map as well. So that move across the map, I mean, how successful was it? It looks as though the Warp Prism is still just about alive. Just get a few zealots off in towards the natural. Not too much damage really done though. His Life just continuing to make roaches. He's actually going into Aspire right now, so he will be looking for a muteless tech switch, or maybe just Corruptors. He might just go Roach Corruptor to try and end this game, as he sees his opponent is on a low number of Colossi. So, so yeah. Right now, we're just waiting to see what exactly is going to be happening. There's a 4th base on the way up for Life, so he's going to just continue to push his advantage in this game. Warp Prism going to look for another way in towards this natural expansion. You can drop off another couple of zealots here, and that's exactly what he will do. A single roach left behind, them zealots will deal with that pretty quickly. As the Warp Prism is being chased by the Queens. I don't think it can warp in before Queen can kill it off. He does spot the Spire though if he's paying attention, so you'll see that and can begin reacting to it now. If you would like to, this Queen in a little bit of trouble. Life going to move that away to keep it alive though. And these roaches will finish off that zealot just there. So, Life starting to split up his units and looking as though we might see a little bit of a trade here. Because these pylons are going to start going down, moving forward here with these roaches. As these sentries are taking a little bit of damage too. 3 Colossi at the moment. And that will be actually quite a lot to just, you know, deal a bunch of damage here. He keeps all of them alive. The sentries do begin to fall a little bit. Life not getting much done here, but now his Spider's finished. 12 meters on the way. 2 Stargates coming up in response for Space Marine. So he did spot that Spire, and he is responding to this. And, well, we're just waiting to see. I mean, all the muters got, you know, all the incoming Phoenix going to be enough to turn around the muters? Or has Life just already got too much of an advantage here? 4th base finished, he's going to start taking the gas. Wouldn't be surprised if he even started a 5th base somewhere. Well, there we go. 5th base actually already planted here for Life. So he's just going to start expanding all around the map in case this does turn into a base trade. Right now, the anti-air very limited for Space Marine. He actually starts with some Void Rays. I don't think that's the right decision at all here. I mean, 2 Void Rays and 3 Sentries are not going to be enough to turn around any number of Mutalisks. And they're not going to be fast enough to chase these Mutas either. So these Mutas are going to have a field day here once they get in towards the natural here very, very shortly. As we can see right now, here we go, moving towards the natural expansion where there's just a bunch of probes ripe for the picking. And that is what these Mutalisks will do. Coming in right now, and Space Marine has no answer to this. He's got no anti-air at all, really. First 2 Void Rays must be... yeah, the first 2 Void Rays are out, but I mean, again, what is he meant to do? Counter-attack is his answer. He's just going to move across the map, but again, life's already expanding around the map. He's adding on some spores and spines here and there. I mean, he's already going to kill off a bunch of these probes. He doesn't even really care too much about this throwing overcharge. He's going to come over towards his third base now, where he's just going to be able to kill this if he wants to. You'll see the lack of an army. He actually loses 2 Mutas, a little bit sloppy by life flying over them cannons. He's just going to pull it back and fight the army. He sees what the army is. He sees there's absolutely no anti-air. And he's just saying to himself, well, Mutas are just going to absolutely wreck this, bringing everything else in as well just to help out. He's just going to target down the Colossi. Everything else will follow quite shortly after. And Space Marine with no option now other than to tap out and to let life take StarTale onto match point. And, well, I mean, what happens now is Space Marine 38 supply remaining in this game, 27 probes, 11 army supply, now 7 army supply. I don't even know what army supply he's got on the map. Space Marine taps out, and life takes game number 4 to put StarTale onto match point here. And StarTale looking a little bit stronger than they have done as of late. So, good news for them, 3-1 right now, onto match point. Very quickly, a huge shout out to our new subscriber, Randall. Hey, we have October sub goal. Don't know what exactly we're going to do about that, but maybe we'll do something with it. So yeah, October sub goal reached. Woohoo! Thank you, Randall, very much for supporting the channel. Of course, we will be putting together a replay, but I still have to do that. It's on the top of my to-do list. So putting together a replay pack, stuff like that, raffle tickets and that sort of stuff, will be all given out to subscribers. So guys, you know, if you're looking for more ways to support the channel, you see how this game is going to go. We're going into Catalina, and let's see how this will go down between the meching Terran player, the player who just loves to play mech, and of course, Life, who's going to be going to BlizzCon next week. Like, well, you know, he's going to be going to the WCS round of 16, if you can call that BlizzCon in the round of 16. You know what I mean, but, you know, he's in the top 16 of WCS. He's going potentially to BlizzCon. Pretty big stuff, guys. We're going to be starting here in the upper left-hand corner today. I said upper left-hand corner. In the left-hand side of the map here on Catalina, it's our blue Terran player Lilicanon from Redbloods. Now, Redbloods, they have a reputation of winning in ace matches. 4 ace matches already this season. They're yet to drop a match, but today could be the kind of turning point of that. So, this is Redbloods here in the 9 o'clock position, and Lilicanon playing for them, as it looks as though it might be an 11-11 down the lower right side of the map. We have from StarTale, it's the red Zerg player, it's Life, down here in the bottom right hand corner, looking to take the victory for StarTale right here, right now, with no further messing around. So, there's barracks number 1. But it looks as though it's not going to be a... It looks as though it's going to be a Proxy Reaper from Lilicanon, because we're going to see the gas coming down now. No second barracks. So he's just going to proxy his Reaper here early on in this game. Now, Lilicanon does have a bunch of unique little builds here in TVZ. I've seen him do Proxy Starport to do some weird Hellion drop play before. He has a lot of exciting, cute little things which he can do in this matchup, so I'm excited to see how this goes for him. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. So he does have a bunch of cute little tricks. I'm excited to see what he can make happen against Life. See if he can get any of these to really work out for him here. This barracks now joined by a second barracks. So it is actually going to be 2 racks, but it's going to be 2 racks Reaper, which is something we don't see all too often against Zerg. Kind of intrigued to see what's going to happen here. Life moving this Overlord in a bit of a weird direction. Now he's going to move it back over this way. So he now knows Lilicanon's in the top left hand corner, but he has no scouting in this game. Hatchery done, gas now mining for Life as well. His pool's on the way. Well, not hatchery done, but hatchery nearly done. And these 2 Reapers are going to be coming out. Whoa, reactor! What is this? What on earth is this? what is this build we're seeing from Little Cannon? I have absolutely no idea right now. Okay, so it's just Reapers. It's essentially 3 Reapers at a time. Is that it? 3 Reapers at a time? He is literally going all in on life right now. There's no other way to describe this. This is what it is. And yeah, I mean, Life's got a couple of lings already out. He's going to see this SCV. He's going to turn this around. First 2 queens on the way. But he's going to get hit with 3 Reapers here very, very soon. Now, the good thing for Life is the fact that he's got speed already on the way. So it's kind of just a ticking time bomb for Little Cannon, because once that speed is out, his Reapers are going to get caught very, very quickly here. Now, first 4 lings do get caught. Oh, the Reaper gets caught there for a moment, but there's enough DPS to shut this down. Third Reaper joins in, so immediately Life, he starts up some more lings. I even think a Spine Crawler might be a good addition right now. If he can get it up in time, he's going to bring both of his queens closer together. Well, then Reapers, there they are. So they're going to jump up in towards the main base right now and come in here, see what damage they can do. But 2 queens together, good response by Life so far. I think these 2 queens definitely a necessity, as these lings are going to come forward as well. Life going to pull them back though, make sure he's not losing them for no reason. As he tries to get a creep tumor up here, which will help a little bit against defending these Reapers, give them queens a little bit more mobility around the base. One of these Reapers very low on hit points, but surviving for now. As 2 more Reapers come in, and Life's making a mistake. He's left one of his queens out there. Another queen going to start coming in now. Zergle speed is very nearly done. 1 Reaper has actually fallen. This queen's actually still alive from previously. And a bunch of lings going down now, but forcing these Reapers back a little while longer. 3 more Reapers still in the production tab at the moment, as Life is going to come forward here with the queens. Now he does have speed on the lings, but not quite enough lings to actually do anything. As he comes forward, he's going to get 1 more Reaper. No, not quite. Just doesn't get one there. And, well, Little Cannon just backs off for a little while longer here. Life will just keep building lings, but I mean, he's getting to the point where there's just going to be so many lings on the map that you question if these Reapers are really going to be able to do it. 8 Reapers in total right now here in this, I guess, entourage of Reapers. Is entourage a good word to use to describe this? I'm not really too sure, as these things are going to come forward here. They're going to go for the attack. They're going to force these Reapers to jump down to the low ground. And away they go for now. Going to jump back up into the natural. This reminds me of a game. Was it like... I think it might have been... Well, let's hold that forward, because right now these things are not quite going to be able to catch it. This reminds me... I think it was Redblood Battlegrounds between QXC and somebody. And, was it... I can't actually quite remember. No, maybe it was Ruff who was playing. I think it was Ruff, and he just massed Reapers against the Zerg. It was a bit crazy. It wasn't quite like this. 2 command centers coming up behind this for Little Cannon. Factory is about to finish as well. And these lings are not going to counterattack, but they do force the Reapers to come back home. And a Roadthrower now on the way for Life as well, which is going to be quite nice. They're going to be pretty solid against the Reapers as well, as Reapers are still being produced here in the middle of the map. One Reaper's going to get caught out just as it spawns though, so that's a little bit unfortunate there. This reactor going to go down as well. This barrack's going to be forced to be lifted. The Reapers are spotted, and well, Life at least he cancels the reactor as he comes forward here again. He does catch one of these Reapers. And again, with this many Zerglings, he can afford to take a few shots while he catches a Reaper and does whatever he can. So, these Reapers still controlling the map right now. 2 more factories being added on. We are going to go into the mech play, which Little Cannon is so well known for here in Europe. As these Reapers continue to move around, seeing what they can spot, see if they can find any opportunities to do some damage. 3 queens here, and they're going to actually lose a couple of creep tumors. And these Reapers are actually going to take down queens pretty quickly. But they're still just moving around for now. They're going to run into these Zerglings, and again, Zergling speed. They're just going to jump to the low ground, where they're going to be met by more Zerglings. And, well, he's starting to lose Reapers now, and that's not so great. He's going to have to come back up here, but Life is going to find the way to basically just stop these Reapers from getting away. Now there's a couple more Reapers that are going to go down, and Little Cannon takes some heavy losses here to his Reaper count. Still going to keep on trading as best he can, as these Reapers are going to escape up into the main base now. 4 Reapers remaining, as he now goes into Hellion production. Behind this, as Reaper gets picked off by Queens. The Reapers are going to leap down into some Zerglings, and that's not good for them at all. And the last few Reapers get picked off here. And Little Cannon, all of a sudden, has lost everything he had going for him in the early game. I mean, now he goes into Hellions. Burrow is actually on the way for Life. He starts at the 3rd base as well. And a few roaches starting to move out on the map here for Life. So, Life moving across the map, seeing what he can get up to here, seeing what he can spot. These few Hellions here are still just sitting on this natural. And looks as though Life will be coming up this ramp in a couple of moments, and you will find an SCV to kill. Hellions can't really move out into these roaches, of course. He's actually, well, he morphs them into Hellbats, so now he probably can move out here and take these on. Infernal Pre-Igniter on the way, and a bunch of Lings here as well to back this up if these Hellbats do go too far forward. So these roaches are going to do what they can, kite away, pick off as many Hellbats as possible for free, essentially. Only taking very minimal damage here initially. And, you know, basically forcing Little Cannon to respond and to fight, because otherwise he's going to lose depots, he's going to lose a wall. You know, it's not going to be great for him. There's a couple of Marines are coming out to try and help defend as well. 2 tanks on the way, as the Lings are going to try to stream up here. Now, is there enough power from these Hellbats? Another Hellbat comes down from the high ground. The Lings are taking a lot of damage, but there's just not quite enough just yet. He lifts the depots, and that means the SCVs are right for the picking. A single tank moves forward. He will siege this up to begin cleaning this out. These SCVs, though, are still in trouble. And another Hellion comes forward to try and help out, but it's going to get maybe picked off. Okay, gets blown up by the tank. And now Lings are actually through into this high ground, as we still have SCVs running around trying to survive here. This tank does survive, but I mean, Little Cannon down on 25 SCVs against 63 drones, and the last few Lings do get blown up there. So that's that for now. And I mean, Little Cannon does live. He does have 3 command centers, but I mean, again, he's fighting 40 workers behind. I mean, he's playing mech, so I guess it's kind of okay-ish, kind of, sorta, right? Because he can just sit back and, you know, camp for a little bit. But yeah, it's kind of interesting right now. See where this is going to go. I mean, Life's just playing a very standard ZVT. He doesn't have a Baneling Nest, but apart from that, he's getting melee upgrades, he's getting a Spire. I think he's probably realised at this point that this isn't, that this is mech. I mean, he's almost definitely probably realised this. So, he probably knows he's playing against something which is against mech, so interested to see how he's going to spawn. I mean, he does actually have a Baneling Nest somewhere. Where is it? Oh, it isn't a natural. I must have been right over it when I was saying he doesn't have a Baneling Nest, so excuse me. So he's still committing into Ling Bling Muta here. So maybe he doesn't realise this. I mean, but I mean, he sees an armory, he sees a reacted factory. I mean, he saw tanks, so if there's a reacted factory and there's tanks being made, there's at least 2 factories. So I'd imagine he knows what he's doing. I'm not going to say that Life, you know, he's just like confused here. What's my game do? It's not letting me scroll to the right. There we go. You know, I'd imagine Life knows what he's doing, so he's just going to stick with this, continue to upgrade melee upgrades. And, well, Life moving across the map with his first few mutas. Now, there is a 4 which has been in production, so I believe that's now out. With some repair, it could be okay. It's actually on the low ground here, so tanks are actually going to come under fire. There's a couple of mines out here and there as well. So Life has to be a little bit careful. 2 tanks going down here already. 4 is actually going to come under fire now, and Life does split up these mutalisks. 4 needs to be repaired, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So he kills off 2 mutalisks, the 4 still survives for now. The SCV is trying to repair it as best they can. The mine comes in and reburrows, repositions here. So some SCVs going down, some mutas going down as well. As now actually Life does go into roach upgrades as well, starts up some roaches in production, and still trying to do a little bit more with these mutalisks, but not really overcommitting to anything here. Centrifugal Hooks has now finished in this game. 1-1 about to finish up for our Terran player, who is beginning to establish a 3rd base. He's landed this over here now. I mean, we're talking about 90 supply for the Little Cannon against 178 for Life, so at this moment in time, it seems as though Little Cannon may very well just be, well, Life is just kind of playing out the game. He's just playing it out, waiting for this to get to a point where he can wrap things up. So, for now, Life is going to run in towards this 3rd base. And Redbloods, they look very mortal here today compared to their kind of immortal phase before now. These Lings moving forward, and they're going to come in here and see what they can do. Again, with so many Hellbats, the Lings aren't going to be the most useful of units. A couple of 4s as well to deal with the mutalisks. Does force a list. I can't say it. Force a lift on this command center. What was that? Force a list. Forces a lift on that command center there. But only for a couple of seconds. SCVs were there to repair. A lot of roaches now coming in here as well for Life. So I mean, Little Cannon needs to get tanks in position, sieged up if he wants any chances of holding this. Hydroden on the way, Hive on the way as well. I mean, the tech just doesn't stop coming here for Life. He's got an advantage and he's going to keep on pushing it. He doesn't want this to, you know, end too quickly here at all. As Life comes forward, and we've got some Hellbats, we've got some 4s firing on these roaches. And Lings are going to swarm into this 3rd base as well right now. So, I mean, again, Hellbats are going to try and hold off, but a lot of these Hellions have, or SCVs have already been killed. Mirror's come into the main base also, going to do some damage in here. There's only a single turret. The armory's actually been targeted because there's no anti-air. And, I mean, this army, which is actually here for us to Terran play, just isn't enough. The tanks are going down very, very rapidly here. And this might just be the end of Redbloods, their first loss this season. And this will be the fight. I mean, they're the only team so far which are yet to be, beaten. And it might happen right here, right now, as life just swarms through. This third base is even going to fall. There's no repair, no lift or anything. Mirrors are going to get chased away by a 4 in the natural. But Redbloods today, they look mortal. GG, well played is called. And StarTale close out the victory. 4 games to 1. And life has done it. He takes the victory here for StarTale and puts them into a victory. And that will definitely boost them up in terms of their... score and position in the league. Taking out the top placed team here is a great start to essentially a comeback for StarTale in the league. Currently placed 5th. They need to keep winning matches. Redbloods, they were placed... I think they'll still be placed 1st actually, because Cascade lost their match against All Authority yesterday. So Redbloods are still the only team to have lost only a single match, so they're still doing the best out of all the teams here. Who do they play in the next couple of weeks? They play against Gravity and against All Authority, so I feel as though Redbloods are going to keep on their strong run. I reckon they can keep doing it. I reckon they're probably going to secure a playoff place in the next couple of weeks. So guys, we're not done yet here tonight. We do have Vega Squadron versus Team Extreme Supremacy coming up. That will be our next series. It's scheduled to start in about 15 minutes, but I will see if we can get this started any earlier to... see if we can get this started any earlier to maybe cut down on the downtime just a little bit. So guys, we're going to be going into our next series in about 15 minutes. Just going to run a couple of ads before then. Enjoy the music, and again, we'll try and get that next series started up as soon as possible, guys. If you're enjoying the stream, do hit that follow button. If you're going to leave us now, then I do thank you for tuning in. Shout out to a few more guys who've hit that follow button, Gareth82 and Anton Karidan. So thank you very much for all them follows on Twitch, guys. If you're enjoying the show, do hit that follow button, as I'm very quickly just setting up the scoreboard ready for our next series here. Again, Vega Squadron going up against Team Extreme Supremacy for our second best of 7 of the evening. So guys, we'll be right back in about 10-ish minutes with that next series. Don't go too far, because it's going to be another great best of 7.